love watching you write magic scripts. You know, I've never seen someone draw these designs with such a steady hand. To say nothing of the complexity, as the glyphs shift back and forth, they only reveal yet more details. Patterns nested in patterns. It's like an illuminated manuscript. My old arcanist was incapable of this. I think I've mentioned that before. Charms were one thing, but advanced rituals such as the one you have been helping me make were beyond him. Do you think I killed him for that? Are you worried I have a tendency to kill those who don't live up to my expectation? You don't have to worry about that. I killed my last arcanist because he disagreed with my decision to leave His Majesty's court. That's all. Nothing for you to worry about. Keep going. You're putting a lot of spirals in this spell. At least, I'm recognizing them as spirals. What is that for? Wait, no. Let me say it. Spirals represent an eternity of diminished returns running continuously lower, but never to be empty, and are to be applied solely to those materials which cannot be physically quantified. In this case, I imagine that's to preserve the subject's will, soul, something along those lines. Something we need, but don't need very much. Why you look so surprised? Yes, I read that dissertation, your paper on magic, are reproduced even in the Southern Kingdom. Did you think that I was lying when I told you I was a fan of your work? Oh, that one's making my eyes hurt. What is this? Broadened awareness that would increase its other senses and ability to detect other living things, yes? I think that's a good idea as well. With the eyes clouded over it like that, it would be difficult for it to see by conventional means. We wouldn't want it to be hindered by blindness now, would we? I didn't mean to make you flinch. Oh, is the spell circle ready then? You have nothing more you want to add? For the moment? Well then, it's time for me to check your work the only way that I can. Keep in mind, you can't make me activate any spell I don't want to. But you must know that you once provided spells for hundreds of mage, only making sure you didn't get any foolish ideas. No? Then, are you ready? It's like running a thread through a needle 100 times over. I can feel the pattern emerging as my magic becomes its stitches. How lovely to weave something so elaborate, so perverse, as walking the dead and making this corpse into my puppet. Looks so uncanny, doesn't it? As its features begin to move. Only a few words to this one, Come to me, creatures claimed by death. Through your heart has been punctured the void of breath, to become an extension of my own will, and fell my enemies until you are still. Tullion Purton Tini Korsai, Marikar ni Alrisiv and Tuyun Lunai. Almost there. It's beautiful the way it moves and struggles in its thighs. I can almost make out some semblance of vigor it might have had in life, and this is without any of my enemies nearby. It seems these things will be more than aggressive enough. Are you apologizing to the corpse? You didn't design it to hold grudges, did you? Or is this just some sort of sentimentality on your end? You're always good for a laugh, you know. Now get away from it. I can already tell that there are some adjustments we'll have to make to the What was that? Shit, get back! That was a little stronger than I was expecting a decomposing corpse to be. To be able to break out of the restraint so quickly, I suppose it isn't decomposing anymore, to be fair. As for you, Arcanist, you should have gotten out of range when I told you to. However strong the temptation to see your own creation be up close, did you get injured in all of that? Look at me. Raise your head. I can see the blood coming from your wound. I need to tend to the damage. You may find my touch unbearable, but I can't imagine a wound received from a walking corpse feeling any better. Oh, you're sorry, huh? You're sorry? I'm not angry at you, my sweet. That creature did exactly what I was designed to do. The spell worked. If a bit better than either of us expected, I see no reasons why I should need to punish you for that. On the contrary, maybe I should be rewarding you. But we can talk about that later. Back onto your feet now. Let me see. Keep your hands away from the wound, please. Oh, what a relief. I was worried that it had damaged the new eye I gave you. Or, you know, your natural one. Imagine if you got blinded again by a second Arcan accident. I'd have to replace it with yet another, but it looks like those claws just missed anything important. Still, it did a number on you, all the same. Those gashes are fairly deep. I think I'll thank you to remain still. I'm already having to keep this creature in place, so I'd like to devote the rest of my focus to just this. What am I going to do? I'm going to heal you. It shouldn't be that hard for me to do. You do remember that you made me more healing charms? You said that they would work with just a little amount of magic. I think it's just as good as any time to use them. Don't you think? I thought so. Just relax now. Stop tensing up. I'm not going to hurt you. Not at all. So, relax. I'll tread my focus through the charm and meant for me. Marvelous. Just like that, I'm done. Felt good, didn't it? Yes, it healed up just fine. Clean the blood off and it will be like nothing happened at all. Lucky for me. I thought for one terrible moment there that you'd have a scar on your pretty face. Well, a scar that I hadn't personally give you, that is. It's a shame about this creature, however. We can't use it now. Oh, no, that's not what I meant. The spell we can refine, but this body in particular will probably have to burn. Because it touched you. I don't know if this makes sense out loud, but the idea of, for lack of a better word, employing any creature that has laid its hands on you, it actually makes my skin crawl. Maybe it does make sense in a way. I've told you before, you belong to me, no one else. I suppose it is a bit of a waste, but we'll remember that next time, won't we? And so I'll use tougher restraints, and you'll be a little more careful, or at least, I hope so. I wouldn't want you to keep getting hurt. Not when you're being so obedient these days. Yes, exactly. You understand. In fact, judging from the expression on your face, maybe you understand even better than I do. What else was I thinking about? Oh, right. The spell. Obviously, we'll need to devise a means to make it large scale. I can't individually raise every corpse myself, but that shouldn't be too difficult. Castles are made on wide range spell all the time. The only hurdle will be having enough corpse in one large area. The Southern Kingdom, and Petroval in particular, is full of abandoned battleground, so I can't imagine that it'll be a hard task. Good. Get to it then. Do you know what's funny? Back when we first captured you, you told me something like, no matter what it was for, you would rather die than help me. Some silly, desperate little declaration like that. But I don't think that you were telling the truth. My sweet Arcanist, just look at where we are right now. You're here in my fortress, in this chamber with me, assisting me with this particularly gruesome task, providing the means to an end that entails this countryside and those beyond being subjugated under my banner. You tried to hide behind so many things: your home at the Arcane College, your damaged vision, your own pride. So many little problems were in my way at first. I slowly stripped each one of those things from you until you had no resource but one. So now, you, Miss I'd rather die. You have just one choice left: obey me, or stop me using the one last way available to you. But look at you. You haven't done that second one, and I don't think you will. Your life means too much to you, doesn't it? As much as that creature on the floor is terrifying you, I think that you find it infinitely more terrifying to imagine yourself in its place. I think you would rather stay alive. Unless, of course, the real reason is that you've decided you actually like to be in my company. Oh, you look so upset. I'm sorry for teasing you. It's just that I'm going to war with an army of undead under my beck and call. Even back in my days as a court mage, I used to fantasize about doing this. Well, not this specifically, but something grand and important like this. I confess, I am getting excited. It's not bad, you know, to value your life. You acted like an imperious elder, but you are not an old woman yet. You have a lot of life left to live, if you allow yourself to. And let's not get this confused. You aren't completely irreplaceable. Even if you die, I just have to find someone else. Someone who, admittedly, isn't likely to be as good, and I'd be frustrated, maybe even mournful, but I wouldn't simply stop my plan. You would only delay them at most, so don't worry. There's no need for you to throw your life away and join the likes of this pathetic corpse that keeps milling at us. But I think I keep distracting you. You said you had some revision to make? Make them. When the spell is perfect, I will make my homeland the first target for these creatures. Aside from the fact that it's definitely the worst of the lot, their army is the most pressing issue to me. We'll extinguish it. After that, I imagine any land will be easy prey.